Are you a teacher or are you somebody who is in the teacher training? Then this video is going to help you. If you're wondering which teaching methodology to use in the classroom, which one's gonna work, which one is a fail, then I am here to help you out with this video. I am Shivani and I welcome you to Teacher in Making. So let's get this started. So what are we going to see in this video? The 5 powerful teaching methods. To begin with, we have inquiry-based learning, followed by experiential learning, collaborative learning, differentiated instruction, and last, reflective teaching. These are the 5 methods we are going to understand in this video. To begin with, we have inquiry-based learning. So this method is very simple. The whole idea is you ask more and tell less. So basically, instead of giving answers, you start with questions like, what do you think will happen? Why do you think this works like this? So the idea of this comes from John Dewey, and later thinkers like Piaget and Vygotsky expanded it. So what they believed in is that children learn best when they explore and question. So you have to give them space to think, to analyze, to understand, or to check on their previous learning. So, what you can do in the classroom: asking prediction based questions, letting students investigate, giving small experiments or situations. So, basically, what you're doing is you're making students think and not just listen. Moving on to our second one, which is experiential learning. Now, again, as the word suggests, it means experiential. So, you don't just teach, you let them do, practice. This was extended by David Cole, who gave the learning cycle of experience, reflect, and apply. So instead of only explaining a concept, you let them perform activities, solve real life problems, and do role plays or experiments. And it is very simple, right? When students experience something, they remember it much better. So, this is the human tendency. We need to be there, out, practicing something and doing something by ourselves to experience and to learn faster and retain that information. Moving on to the third one, collaborative learning. This comes from Vygotsky, who believed that learning happens through social interaction. So students don't learn alone, they learn with each other. Now you have auditory learners in your classroom, visual learners in your classroom, kinesthetic learners in your classroom. Now, what you can do is you can make groups of these students, a mixed group. So, you have, for example, a group of 3 students. So, each group has one auditory student, one visual student, one kinesthetic student. And that is going to make a lot of difference in your lesson. Trust me. Try that once in your classroom. So, now again, what you can do: group discussions, peer teaching, group problem solving. Sometimes students understand concepts better from their classmates than from us, which is also what we have practiced, right? Like there are topics that you don't understand when your teacher teaches you, but when you ask your classmate or your friend to explain that, you get it. Coming to the fourth one, differentiated instruction. Now, this is a very important method that you have to practice, or I'm sure you're practicing. This is just like you going through it. Now, this is very important. It simply means same concept, different ways, because not all students learn the same way. This idea was developed by Carl and Tomlinson. In your classroom, what you can do: use visuals, stories, and activities, give choices and tasks, adjust based on student level. One student may understand through a diagram, another through a story, and that's okay. Like this is what we talked about in our previous video. And also, just in the collaborative method, also that every student is different, their learning style is different. You just need to bring them all together on the same table and make sure that they understand what you're trying to tell them in their own ways. Coming to the last one, reflective teaching. Okay, this is for you, the teacher. It means after every lesson, ask yourself what worked and what didn't. What you have to do is keep a teaching journal, Take quick reflection notes, even ask students for feedback. So I want to connect the five teaching methods to Bloom's taxonomy. The first step of Bloom's taxonomy is remember, students are just recalling facts. So here, what you have to do is you can use inquiry-based learning. Ask prior knowledge questions, quick quizzes, brainstorming. Moving on to the second one, understand. The second step. Students explain ideas in their own words. Then, here, what you can do is use collaborative learning. For example, you can do think, pair, share, group discussions. Step 3 is apply. Students use knowledge in real life. Use experiential learning, experiments, role plays, real life tasks. So here they are going to practice everything. They're applying that knowledge. It is very important for them to do it because there is no point of learning anything if it is not being practiced. And we have done that so many times in our classrooms, sometimes because we are in a rush to finish a lesson that we don't apply the information. So make sure you are not skipping this step. Step 4, students break down information. So use inquiry plus collaborative method here. So what you can do is you can bring case studies, compare and contrast, group problem solving. It's really gonna help. Step 5, evaluate. Students form opinions. So you as a teacher will have to evaluate their understanding even if they have learned it or not. So use reflective teaching, debates, opinion questions, peer feedback. All of this is really going to help. Moving on to the last step, create. Students create something new. Here, two methods that you have to use, differentiated and experiential together. So you can group students together with different learning abilities and let them be on a project, a presentation, or design their own solutions. So, here, now that we have also gone through Bloom's taxonomy, I want you to pause and reflect. Which method are you already using? Which one will you try next? And what stage do you usually stop remembering or creating? So, this video ends here, but I want you to go with all these methods as well as a lesson plan template. I will have it linked in the comments. You can use it, tweak it according to your need. I shall see you in the next one. Till then, enjoy the process of teaching and learning. Thank you.